All right, hello, we are live. Let's give it a minute or so, maybe 30 seconds. Be sure, I know there's a little bit of a delay, so make sure everybody gets on.
Yay! Yay!
I know. Okay, let's see. So excited, Chantel.
I know. Great.
All right, I think we're good. Looks like we have some viewers on, so that's a good thing. All right, I think we got the confirmation that we are good. So here we are. Hey, girl.
Hey, how are you?
I'm super good. How are you?
I'm awesome.
I'm excited for this.
We're acting like we didn't just talk for an hour.
I know. we couldn't get off.
Yes, I'm so
excited. All right, so let's get this party going. Do you want to go first? Do you want to tell your story since you joined the business first?
Yes.
Okay, everybody, drum roll for Shauntel Lyons, Ambassador Diamond for ItWorks is going to share her story.
Awesome. Thank you, Mackenzie, for organizing and putting it together for us. Okay, so my story started April 2012. Simply to get the product. Had no intention of working a business or doing that sort. At the time, I was working as a legal assistant, and I was in grad school. I was a year into grad school to become a teacher, and I thought that that was my dream job. And lo and behold, a year into grad school, my amazing sponsor was posting about these crazy wraps on Facebook. I wanted one, but I couldn't afford to buy one. So she said, have a party and you'll get one for free. So I had a party, fell in love with the product and saw how amazing it was for people. Like, everyone at the party was so excited about it, even though nobody joined or bought anything. They were just, the buzz was all around. I wasn't a very good hostess because I was so busy and my husband was out of town. I really just wanted the product. So she told me as she was leaving my house, you know, you can become a loyal customer, which was my original intention, and make me money, or you can become a distributor and make yourself some money. And she changed my life forever when she said those words. And so I pondered it. I thought, you know what? I really don't have anything to lose. If I can get some product at a great price and maybe share it with a few people and make a little extra money, that would be awesome. And so that's all it was, literally just join for the product. Once, they say once your mind expands, it can never go back. My mind expanded once I got my kit and I read the magazine and I saw, you know, Rhonda Hartman, and I remember Shelby was in it, and all these people that just inspired me, because I realized that then and there that there was no common denominator outside of the fact that these people just worked hard and realized that they wanted success with this business and were willing to work for it. So, you know, it didn't matter the age or the background or the education. None of that mattered. And I thought to myself, like, I'm a hard worker. And if you tell me, you know, you do X, Y, and Z and you'll get this, I'll do it. And so I just thought there's no limits. Like, I'm my own boss and I control my success of this business based on my effort. That was just priceless to me. So I caught the vision and nothing could stop me. Kind of went crazy after that.
I love that, because you joined essentially well, you wanted a free wrap. That's why you got there. You know, you just wanted to try one product for free, and then it turned into so much more than that. And you were super busy when you built this business.
Yes, I was almost 2. My son was 2. Playing sports. Went to work every day. Did grad school at night. It was crazy. I was super busy, but I squeezed this business into every nook and cranny of my day that I could. So that was, you know, waking up an hour, spending my lunch break, working this business, staying up an hour later after I finished my grad school work. So I hear people say, like, they're so busy, they don't have time. And I know that everybody's busy. That's just life. Like, nobody's life is just them sitting around twiddling their thumbs saying, I have so much time on my hand, I'm just so bored. That's not anybody's life. I don't care what your occupation is. So for me, being that busy and having that much on my plate just kind of fueled my fire. It just made me see, like, I am so busy now, but if I work really hard, I'm gonna have this amazing life. that will have no limits, that will give me all the time in the world to do whatever I want to do. So that's what my motivation was.
Wow. And I also like that you said that, you know, you read the stories in our wrap magazine. Well, at that time it was the Success from Home magazine, which I remember reading that too, and just seeing like, you know, these people are all so different. There's such different backgrounds, which you and I, just in general, we have such different stories. We built our business so different. And that's why this call is so exciting, because people are going to hear like two completely different sides of this business and our stories. But I think that's what I love about this business is like, anybody can do this. Like, there is no mold. Everyone looks different. Everyone has a different past. Everyone has a different story with how they got started, why they got started. Their finances were some people were doing fine financially, some people were not. And so that's cool that like those stories really, you know, were huge for you when you first joined, reading that probably front to back and reading all those stories in there.
I laminated.
Oh, you've like wallpapered your house with the success stories.
Such an impact on me. They had my tears, just my fingerprints are all over it. So many times every time I was at my mom's or needed some motivation, I just went back to that.
I love it. That's awesome. All right. Well, I know we're going to get to how you did it and your tips and all that kind of stuff in just a minute. But maybe I'll just quickly say my story. Okay. All right. So 3.5 years ago, beginning of 2013, my husband and I, we were both traditional entrepreneurs. So I owned a photography studio, and then we also owned a barbecue restaurant. And we were kind of living out our passions, our dreams, what we saw ourselves doing for the rest of our lives. So we weren't really looking for anything more, except for we were really good at faking being successful. You know, our businesses were both successful, but we personally were struggling, and we were silently struggling. Nobody really knew it. Everybody kind of looked at us from the outside thinking like, they have it all, they're doing fine, they're doing well. And we had all the important things. We had a roof over our head, and we had cars, and we had all those things. We had our health. But every single month we were struggling to get by. And as entrepreneurs, our paychecks were the last thing on the list of what kind of money could go out. And so there was several months that we couldn't take a paycheck. And that's when things got so scary for us, when we were like, I don't know how we're going to pay our bills. Like, I don't even know how we're going to pay this bill this month. We're going to have to skip it. And in fact, we ended up doing that with our mortgage, and we got behind on our mortgage. And we got this letter in the mail in 2013, the beginning of the year, and it said, like, you know, you've got to pay all these back payments, and also you have to catch up on all of your fees for paying late. And it was so embarrassing for me that I couldn't even tell my parents, I was really close with, but I was so embarrassed by everything. I didn't even tell them until probably 1.5 years after I joined this business. I finally said it on stage in an event, but it got really bad for us, and I had to start selling things on Craigslist. So I was just going through my house like, what could I sell? What's here that I don't need anymore that could give us some money so we can get ahead on our mortgage or get caught up on our mortgage? And I did. I ended up getting enough to pay that and get caught up. And ironically, I needed to pay that by April 2nd of 2013, and that was the same day that I joined ItWorks. So I wasn't looking for ItWorks. I wanted to be a customer. And as we all know, we prioritize what we want to spend our money on and what we want to put our time into. And although I didn't have the money to be spending on these wraps, I wanted to look and feel better, and I was going to make that a priority and just spend the money, even though I didn't have it. The girl that I had talked to that was, you know, helping me become a customer just threw out the idea of being a distributor. At first I said, no, I'm not interested in that. I had actually done another company before, just wasn't the right fit for me. I felt very much like a salesperson, and that didn't sit well with me. And she said, you know, you probably have some friends that would want to try the products, don't you think? Some mom friends or some other friends that are just trying to feel better. And it was kind of at that moment where I thought, yeah, like, I know that some moms want these wraps and just to feel better about themselves. So maybe I could just make free product every month. You know, maybe I could just pay for what I was going to spend. So I joined on a complete whim on April 2nd of 2013. I just jumped in with both feet. If that's $99, why not? So I signed up, and you know, I had this conversation with my dad about a month before. He had sat my husband and I down. He knew that, you know, finances weren't good for us at this point. He didn't know about our mortgage, but he knew things weren't good. And he sat us down and he said, you act like you're driving down the interstate going 100 miles an hour without seatbelts on. You have to rein yourselves in. And he was so right. Like, we were going nowhere. We had no savings. We had nothing planned for the future. We were living beyond our means. And so when I signed up for $99, it was like that first thought of like, oh, I just did it again. You know, here my dad was telling me not to do this and I'm doing it again. I'm spending this $99, money that I shouldn't be spending, and I'm gonna, you know, make money. Like, that's my thought. And it was like, I sat in that moment for a minute and then I thought to myself, no, I am going to take this fear that I have right now. Like, I'm full of fear, and I'm going to turn that into determination to make this be something that can be great. So I right away just like ran out of the gate talking to anybody and everybody that would listen to me. I was just excited. And I think that that excitement was contagious, and people just wanted to be a part of that excitement, whatever that meant, as a customer or as a distributor. And so I just worked and worked and worked. And I just, you know, like you said, I got up earlier, I stayed up later, I did whatever I had to do. And I really was hoping for $500 a month. Like, that was what I thought could really change our life. We would be able to breathe a little bit every month, hopefully stay on our bills on those months that we couldn't pay ourselves. And this business has turned into so much more than that. And so that's why, you know, here I am 3.5 years later, just so excited about it still, so passionate about it. I love helping people get started because I just know what that feels like, and just know that like this could be what changes your life if you let it, you know? So that's kind of my story in a nutshell, beginning of my story anyways.
Also, in the beginning of you just add something. So you came in and threw us all away by going double diamond in 1 month, correct? And I think
Yes.
that most part of your story is when you did that, you were just like a breath of fresh air. Not because, I mean, there was already amazing leadership, but you're so normal and down to earth and kind and sweet and generous, and just like you're just so, I don't know, you just feel like home. You know what I'm saying? Like when I saw your YouTube video with the brick in the background, the infamous video for the first time, and because I was following you, I was stalking you. Jamie posted about you on a leadership page, and I was like, what? Who is this woman? So when I saw you and I just saw how, I mean, you're just speaking like a normal person, like it was, you know what I'm saying? You're just wearing normal clothes, and it just showed so many other people that anyway they do this, and the fire and and so I met you so much. I'm just grateful for your friendship, our evolving friendship. What was that like? That you talked about that first month. You just like, I was just working, you know, you didn't realize that you were running on, going crazy in our business. But talk about that first month and what that was like for you.
Yeah, that first month was crazy. You know, if you guys have ever heard the term ignorance on fire, that was me. I truly had no idea what I was doing. I just knew I had that fear, like I said, and I was turning that into determination, because I was like, I am not going to let this be one more thing that I fail at. I'm not going to let this be one more thing that I jump into with an impulse decision and then I just let it go by the wayside because it got too hard or it wasn't what I thought or whatever. I am going to blow this up. And so, this is kind of just a fun story. So my very first day in the business was, I signed up on a Tuesday, and I remember I was having this girls' night out that night with some friends, and they all were like, hey, we want to buy those wraps that you're talking about on Facebook. Like, we're ready. Like, help us get signed up with those tonight. And so I said to my sponsor, Jamie, I said, would you just come with me and like help me just get them signed up as a customer? And she said, sure, I'll come. And I was like, that's great. So she comes, and I remember she pulled out like our party pad, presentation, and started going through that. And I was seriously like, oh my gosh, like this is not at all what we had in mind. I just thought you were going to just sign them up. Like they don't want a sales presentation or anything like that. And then I just kind of sat back for a second and I realized like my friends were engaging. They were asking questions. They were interested. And I was like, okay, maybe this isn't so bad. Like she's just talking through each of those pages. Like it's just kind of guiding her. And then I remember she flips it over and starts doing the join the party, you know, be a distributor side. And I was like, abort mission, like stop talking. This is not at all what they want. They don't want to be distributors. They just wanted to be a customer. Like I don't want to be a salesperson at all. And so she keeps talking and same thing, like they're engaged, they're asking questions, they're interested. And I'm like, oh, okay, I'll let her keep going. And then I remember she, at the very end, so I had 4 girls there, 2 signed up as customers and 2 signed up as distributors. And it was kind of at that moment, you know, this is my first day. And it's about that moment where I thought, all I have to do is talk to people and tell them their options. It's not up to me to decide if being a customer or distributor is right. I just have to inform them of their options and then they make the choice and the decision on what's right for them. So that's kind of what I did that whole first month. I just was like, who wants to talk to me? Like I'm going to talk to anybody and everybody. I posted a ton on Facebook. You know, I was super consistent on Facebook and being sure everybody knew what I was doing, but I was still being a real person in there too. I was still posting about my kids and what I was doing on a daily basis. And I was still a photographer working full time. And so I was making it very known though that I am selling these products and these are what they're doing for me. These are what they're doing for my friends. And I started having parties. So I was a party girl. I did parties for myself. And then as soon as I would sign up a new distributor, I would help them do a launch party right away for within their first 7 to 10 days at the very most. And so I was doing a lot of parties that month because I was signing up a lot of distributors. And it was so fun because being in a room full of people that are excited about the products and want to try them and have questions about them, there was nothing like that. And it was like, just kept reminding me why I was doing this and why I was so passionate about it already, you know, being so new. And I do remember that before my kit even had come in the mail yet, I remember getting a text from my sponsor, Jamie, that said, oh my gosh, girl, you just promoted to Ruby. And I was like, oh, what's Ruby? Like I had no idea, like no clue at all. Like I was like, what's Ruby? Like I was seriously ignorance on fire. I just like signed people up as customers and distributors and worried about the questions and how it all worked later. Like I figured stuff out as I went. I'm still figuring things out 3.5 years later. I knew the products were great. I knew that the opportunity was incredible. And so that's what I was like solely going off of. And now I know how crazy Double Diamond in 1 month is. I did not know that at the time. But now I know. I mean, that was hard. But I would do it all over again 100 times if I had to.
And then you went presidential.
Yeah, I went presidential really fast. So the next month, I'll just tell another little fun story. So I was going to Atlanta boot camp, which was in mid-May. So I was only 6 weeks into the business. I had to buy a plane ticket before I even got paid for the first time with ItWorks. However, we get our weekly bonuses, our weekly $100 bonuses, and those are awesome. And that is what I was running off of, you guys. The fact that I was getting these $100 bonuses on Fridays, I was like, this is incredible. Like, this is paying for so much. Like, I signed up a couple distributors, you get $300 the next week. Like, this was crazy to me. And so when Jamie, my sponsor, said, you have to go to this Atlanta boot camp with me, I'm like, okay, like I haven't gotten my first commission check yet, but you know what? I have these fast start bonuses. I'm going to take an investment into my business and I'm going to use that and go to Atlanta. And I remember getting to Atlanta and I didn't really know what to expect. I didn't really know why Jamie wanted me to go so badly, but I got there and the first thing I noticed is exactly what you just said, that people were so welcoming and genuine and happy for me that in any other industry, even in this industry, in some companies, you don't have that. You don't have people being genuinely happy and excited for someone else's success. And you know, here I'm this girl, brand new girl, nobody knows me. I promoted so fast in the company. I expected everybody to be very cold and standoffish to me. And it was like people running to me to like hug me, meet me, say, you know, congratulations. And that was the first thing that I fell in love with this company, was just seeing how the people were and seeing how positive everyone was. And it was like everyone was your best friend. Like, it was such a cool feeling. So that, and then I remember they announced that the bonuses were back out, you know, the $25,000 bonus for anyone that promoted to triple that month. And this was like May 19th. So there was only 12 days left in the month. And I remember thinking, like, that's so cool for anybody that's going to go, you know, to one of these ranks and get one of these bonuses, like $25,000 is a triple. That's amazing. And I walked out of the convention center and there was this group of people that I had met, you know, like I said, who had welcomed me and open arms, and they were all sidelines to me, not in my upline or my downline. And they were all just like so excited. And I'm like, what are you guys so excited about? And they're like, you, because you're going to get that bonus. You're going to promote and you're going to get that bonus. And I'm like, oh, no, like I need so much to happen this month. I need like 19 distributors and a ton of customers. That's just not possible. And they were like, yeah, it is. It's so possible, and you're going to do it, and you have to claim it right now. And it was kind of at that moment where I thought, that's so true. Like, why would I already count myself out when like there's 12 days left in the month? Like a lot can happen in 12 days. I just showed what happened in 28. So I kind of claimed at that moment. I remember I went up to my hotel room. I posted my before and afters on Facebook for the first time ever. And I was like, I'm doing it. I'm going triple. And I worked my tail off for those 19 days, doing anything and everything that I could, reaching out to friends that hadn't, you know, signed up as customers or distributors yet. I, you know, was paying attention to a lot of my likes on Facebook, anything that I was posting about the business and people were liking it. I was reaching out to them and just saying like, hey, you know, do you have any interest in this? I was posting on Facebook. I was very consistent on that. And I was doing parties. Like we started doing weekly parties, and anybody in my downline, sideline, upline was welcome to come. And we just have like giant wrap parties every single week. We called them Wednesday wrap parties, Wrap Wednesdays. So those are really fun. And so, yeah, I went triple that month and then presidential in July. So crazy whirlwind of a 4 months. And like I said, I would do it 100 times over again. So.
Oh, so amazing.
So amazing.
Just awesome.
All right, let's go back to you though for a minute. Okay, so you were super busy. You were full-time working, full-time in school, getting your master's. Like, talk about crazy. And I think that's what's so cool too about both of us is we were both so busy. Like I worked full-time up until I went ambassador. So that's not an excuse. So what are some tips that you have for people that say they're too busy or they just feel like they're too busy? Do you have some tips on that, Chantal?
Yeah, I feel like you just have to do it. It's so easy to say I'm too busy, but really I'm like a goal-oriented person. And so if you know me and you're in my life, like my house is filled with inspiration all over. Like my husband gets annoyed, but I just love words and positive things. I watched The Secret a long time ago in 2007, and it changed my life. I made my first dream board after watching that documentary. I made a dream board that had a picture of a girl. I was having a hard time getting pregnant, and I was so desperate to have another kid. And I made a dream board and it had a picture of a mom and a little girl playing on one corner and a house with a white picket fence on the other corner, and then all this random stuff in the middle. But about 6 months after I made that dream board, I found out I was pregnant with my daughter, and we closed on a house 10 days after I had her that came with a white picket fence. I also, this part is the crazy part, taped dollar bills all over my entire house. And it was a tiny little rental. It was a bungalow like the size of, I don't know, a shoebox. It was so small. I taped dollar bills all over that little house, and I put all kinds of zeros so that they were $1 million bills. And I grabbed my husband and I said, I don't care if you don't believe this is going to happen. But if you do believe it's going to happen, I want you to look at these dollar bills and trust that, you know, someday we'll have $1 million, because I'm tired of living like this. I was so desperate, and I felt like this is not what life is intended to be like, stressing about money and going to bed crying, you know, worrying about just money all the time. Everything was just always about money. And so, yeah, I taped those dollar bills around my house. And so obviously I became a millionaire because of this business. Last year got inducted into the Millionaires Club. And I just wish that people knew that, you know, you have to believe in yourself, and you have to throw every excuse out. You have to wholeheartedly believe in yourself and be willing to put forth the work and effort, and know that it's not going to be easy and it's not going to be pretty all the time. It can't always be up, up, up. You know, there has to be some down. But if you believe in yourself, if you believe in your team, and your intentions are good, I just think amazing things happen. But you have to believe in yourself, and you have to go out there. Because if you limit yourself, your team, your whole family, everybody, just take those limits off yourself, break through them, and just do it. Just overanalyze it.
Oh, I love that. Oh my gosh. So you showed me that house one day. Do you remember that? You drove me to that house.
Yes.
Yeah. So you're saying that. I'm like, oh my gosh, I remember this story. We were like driving to dinner or something, and you're like, I have to show you this house.
Yeah, we did.
That is so cool. I mean, this shows you though, like, you know, I thought the dream board was super cheesy when I first joined. I remember them talking about doing a dream board. I think it came in our kit at that time, like a green and black dream board. And I was like, what is this? And then I started seeing leaders talking about it and seeing how they were crossing things off their list, off their dream board. And I thought, okay, like that's working for them. And there is something so powerful about visualizing your goals. And your goals are your dreams. You know, those are your goals. And if you don't ever visualize them, how do you expect them to ever come true? And so for you, those dollar bills, like that is so crazy. And now, you know, you're a millionaire, you're in the Millionaires Club, and oh my gosh, like what a cool story. And I think that if there's anybody listening now that has not ever done a dream board, you have to. You have to, and put it somewhere that you're going to see it every day. Like for me, I do it in my bathroom cabinet. So when I open that every day, when I go to do my hair, anything like that I'm grabbing out of, I'm seeing those things. And you take, you know, 5-10 seconds and look at each item on there and really think about it. And you're putting out that positive energy into the universe and just saying, you know, like, I believe this is going to happen. And you have to be the one to put the action behind those things. But if you do those two things combined, you're a powerhouse. And so Chantal and I are both proof that if you want it bad enough, doesn't matter how busy you are, you just shift your priorities in whatever ways that you can. So for you and I, that was getting up earlier and staying up later. You know, I was a full-time photographer, so that meant like, you know, I was with my clients. I didn't have the luxury of being on my phone very much because I was constantly booked all day with clients. And so I would just, you know, I knew I could control my sleep. I knew I could get up earlier and stay up later. And that was for sure 2 hours that I had to dedicate to this business. And at the time, my photography business wasn't what was paying my bills. Like I needed something more. So I had to shift my priorities in whatever way that I could. And then when I had those 15-minute breaks or when I could eat lunch, I would be doing my follow-ups. I would do whatever I could income producing in that time because I had 15 minutes. I wasn't scrolling Facebook. I was doing something that I knew was going to help my business. And that was a lot of times following up with customers or distributors or potentials in those 15 minutes. And then when I'd come home at night, after I got my kids in bed and stuff, then I finished those follow-ups and hopefully sign them up as customers and distributors. So, and I was very hands-on. I wasn't a big go to my website and sign up kind of girl. I wanted, you know, this is a relationship that you should be building with these people. This is relationship marketing. That's how you need to think of this. And so I loved helping my customers physically sign up, getting their information and signing them up, knowing for sure what products they wanted, and helping them get that order in. So I wasn't a big one just like, okay, great, go ahead to my website and sign up. I was like, no, I'm here to help you. I'm here to build this relationship with you. And I'm the one that's going to be putting your order in and knowing that it's right and it's going to be shipping right to your door.
Love it. Love it. I also want to point out that you that I feel like both of us through this journey, because I knew you right when you started, when you were brand new, and I was probably still fairly new when you met me. You know, I was barely a year in. I just feel like people look at us, I did anyway, when I was brand new, when I looked at ambassadors or presidentials, and you see somebody that can do no wrong and everything just was so seamless and perfect. And I want to point out that, you know, when I first started, I was scared to blitz, but I had to because that was a really easy way for me to get my business and my products out there when I was out in the world. I was scared to blitz. I was scared to talk to my team like a leader. I was scared to like do anything with this business. I didn't know anything about the company, the business, the products, or leadership. When you start out, you start a certain way, but everything is continuously evolving for me. I'm always trying to be, you know, a student and better myself as a leader, as a network marketer, as a sponsor, as a friend. You know what I'm saying? Like, I just feel like it's important for people to know that we didn't come into this knowing anything. We didn't know anything, and we just had to learn along the way. And Zig Ziglar has that quote, you know, every big shot was once a little shot that just kept shooting. That's all we did. We just kept shooting, right? Wouldn't you say? Do you feel like you evolved when you first started?
Oh my gosh, so much. Yeah. I mean, I did a lot of wrong things in the beginning, you know, I mean, right, I look back at some of those messages I sent to people and I'm like, oh my gosh, I just like word vomited all over them. Like, talk about keeping it simple, Mackenzie, you know, like I did so many things wrong, but I kept going, you know, and learning as I went. And like you said, I'm always a student. And, you know, just because I'm an ambassador doesn't mean that I have everything figured out and that I know everything. You know, I'm grateful for the 300 viewers that are watching right now. Thank you for, you know, being on here. But, you know, yeah, I don't feel like I have any sort of secret or anything. I just know what I've done. And so I love sharing that with people, because if I can help somebody in their journey and help them be successful, then I'm all about it. But I feel the same way. Like, I'm learning from you as you're talking, and I love learning from other leaders, because that's how we should be. We should never feel like we have everything all figured out, because once we do, that's when we're going to be complacent. And when you stop learning, you stop growing. And I never want to stop growing in this business. So I think that's such a good point. Like 100%. I love that. Okay, I want to talk about, so kind of to piggyback off of that, you know, you just said that we never, you know, as ambassadors, we still have the same struggles that everybody else does. And I know one thing that people want to hear sometimes is about our own self-doubt. And so have you ever had that in your business somewhere along, you know, the last 4 years, where you've doubted yourself, and how did you overcome that? How did you get over that?
Yeah, I did, actually. Of course I did. So specifically for me, a big moment for me, I went diamond in 4 months and then double in 6 months. So I went double Halloween of 2012. And then come December, you know, I had been like this the whole time, and then it started to like drop, and I was barely maintaining double. And so it was like one of those moments, pivotal moments in my career, where I was like, okay, I can either think, okay, that was fun while it lasted and kind of just, you know, be grateful, or I can put my head down, refuse to give up, and really, because up to that point, I really wasn't putting that much effort into it. It was all just sloppy, you know, like I was just like, oh, this is great, this is fun, but I wasn't taking it serious. And I feel like God was humbling me and being like, look, chick, if you want this to really stick out, you better get to work and really step up your game. So that's when I started doing self-development, reading books, really plugging into, you know, everything that I could plug into. And then I decided that month to go to my first event, which was conference of January 2013. And you know, if you've read any type of network marketing book, they all talk about momentum. And when I read that in books, I thought, that's silly. Like, there's no way that could ever happen. That you could have momentum that happens like that, you know? But when you realize that the compound effect is happening on your team, the idea is not to be the leader of your team. I think it's hard for a lot of people to let go of that. And so once I learned that, it was easy for me. When I saw leaders rising in my organization, it was very easy for me to let them fly and leave my nest and cheer them on, let them know you're going to always be welcome in my nest, but fly, because you're awesome and you can lead your team. That is incredible. And so when I learned about that and I started loving on that and encouraging that, I went to conference in January. About 20 people from my team went, and my mindset was shifted. I was very positive, and I just thought, I messaged everyone in my downline one by one, just saying, hey, I'm your double diamond leader, Shauntel. I owned it. Before that, I didn't really feel comfortable saying, you know, I'm your leader, because it sounded like, but the way you talk and the way you say things, if you're confident and you're excited and you're genuine, people are attracted to that. And so once I kind of got over myself and realized, you know, I'm a leader and I need to step up and be a leader, and I'm not going to just sit at double. Why sit at double? I can go triple, I can go president, I can do it all, you know. I limited myself. And so I went to conference 2 months later, from a struggling, barely maintaining on New Year's Eve double, on on New Year's Eve to March of 2013, my husband and I both skipped triple and went presidential. 4 months later, ambassador. And the only thing that shifted was my mindset. The only thing that shifted was my mindset, and realizing that if you are pouring into your team and cheering them on and being there for them when they need you and working with your workers, matching energy, like if someone's giving you 5%, why on earth would you give them 110? Because I did a lot of that. I did a lot of, when people told me they were going to quit, big old long paragraphs. Don't quit. Why would you quit? You're amazing. Now it's like, oh man, that you're so good. I hate to see you go, but if that's how you feel, like I'm not going to beg someone to stay on in this business. If you don't love it and feel it like I feel it, then maybe you shouldn't be in it. You know what I'm saying? Like I could never imagine quitting. Like I could never do it. And so it's all mindset. You have to believe and know that incredible things are going to happen and be willing to work for it. But yes, that was the worst funk for me. It was scary. I thought everything was going to end, but it was all in my head.
Oh my gosh, that is, I mean, I related to everything that you just said, and especially about the quitters. You know, people are going to quit. People quit everything. People quit diets. People quit working out. People quit marriages. People quit jobs. People quit things. And this is going to be one of those things that some people quit. But that is why our steps to success are in place, is because you hopefully are finding at least 3 new people every single month. And you're going to find some people that grab the vision and are going to run with it, you know, and that are going to match your energy and be your biggest runner and all those things. And so I definitely have had moments in my business that I've struggled as well, for sure. In fact, it happened to me this year in a really strong way. So my husband was really sick in March, and we spent a lot of time in the hospital, and I was still really working that month. I actually promoted my 2.0 ambassador spot that month to Diamond. And so I was definitely still working, but in April I got in my own head, and I got in my own head and said, you know, he was sick, and people kind of trailed off. They decided to maybe sign up with somebody else, or they're not interested anymore. And I kept like feeding those thoughts. And then in May, I remember thinking to myself, I didn't have any potentials. You know, I thought to myself, I don't have any potentials. And they came out with the buy one, get one free when you signed up as a distributor. They came out with that in May. And so I thought, well, I'm going to go ahead and I'm going to, you know, go through my my potentials list, and I'm going to see. I'm just going to reach out to anybody that's shown any sort of interest in the last, you know, 8 to 12 months, and just kind of go from there, see where we sit. And I did that, and I ended up signing 8 distributors in 48 hours. And it was kind of that moment, that realization to me that was like, that was all in your head, and you were the problem. I just came up with this analogy over the weekend, and it's kind of been a big hit for people. So I said, you know how when you're sick and you're just like in bed and you're sick and you're like, oh, I feel so awful. I'm just so sick. Bring me chicken noodle soup. Like, I just want to lay here and die. I just feel terrible. And you like, it's like this vicious cycle of like feeling sick and just like, I don't want to feel better because I'm sick. And then somebody's like, just get up and get in the shower. Like, it will just feel better if you just shower. And you're like, finally like, fine, I'll get up and I'll shower. And then you shower and you get out and you're like, oh, maybe I'm not so sick. Like, I feel way better. I feel maybe like 90 to 100% better than I did when I laid in bed. And that is just like this business. Like, when you just sit there and dwell and like think about all the things that are going wrong in your business, it's going to just be a vicious cycle and keep doing that. But when you get up and you get in the shower and you take action to feel better, you start talking to your potentials, you start following up with people, messaging people, being excited, having that passion, your business will turn around. You will feel better. Your business will start to go up and flourish. And that is what May taught me. When I realized that and I signed those distributors, I'm like, wow, I was only creating this problem myself. I had these potentials. They were waiting for me. It was up to me. I was the one not following up with them. So huge aha moment for me.
That's a big aha moment. That's pretty crazy. That is amazing. Okay, so what is like your go-to tip? When somebody comes to you, what do you say to them?
You have to run on urgency. Urgency is such a key in this business because I think when we first join, it's super easy to be like excited and you're ready. You're like, okay, this is going to change my life. I'm going to listen to Mackenzie and Shauntel's call, and then I'm going to like, you know, go sign these people. And then maybe you get some no's, or it gets hard, or you get tired of the no's, whatever, something happens. And then somebody messages you at midnight and you're like, I'll message them back in the morning. And you lose that excitement and that urgency, and that will kill your business. You have to treat every potential like they are your very first. Like, think of that very first person that messaged you and said, I want to try those wraps, or hey girl, I want to join your team, or whatever it is that you got that just was like, oh my gosh, this is going to work. You have to treat every single person like your first potential. If you do that, this business will go up for you. You will be successful because, you know, I just talked to a girl on the phone the other day, a potential, and she said it. She said to me, my goodness, I can tell why you are successful. You are so excited. Like, she could tell on the phone that we'd never met in person. She just could tell in my voice. I had maybe had some coffee that day. I was maybe a little bit caffeinated, but she could just sense my passion through the phone. And, you know, to hear that from a potential when I'm 3.5 years in, I thought, I would say that's a good thing. I would say the fact that she told me that she can see why I'm good at sales because I'm excited about it is a really good thing to have. That's a good quality. So if you guys know anything, I want you guys to know urgency is key, as well as consistency. You know, you have to be consistent with this business. If you know, I go back to just like a traditional business. If you open a traditional business, the first thing you're going to do is you're going to expect your friends and family to support that, right? You're going to hope that your friends and family come to this new business, whatever it is. Let's just say it's a restaurant, okay? We have a barbecue restaurant. So we start this restaurant, and the first thing we do is like, okay, friends and family, everybody has to go check out our restaurant, right? Well, that's not the only people that are going to come to our restaurant. We have to look outside that. So what do? We do a billboard. We put up an open sign in the window and turn that on. We put our specials on a board, and we put that out front. We put ourselves in the phone book, right? We post on Facebook. We do all of these things to be sure that we are getting our name out there. And that is just like this business. It's not like once you get some people in, then all of a sudden you're like, I'm going to go ahead and turn off my open sign. I'm going to take that billboard down. I'm going to cross my name out of the phone book. No more Facebook posts. And I'm going to just erase those specials on that board out front because we don't really need those anymore because people are coming in the door. Like, our business is doing okay. If you turned all that off, guess what? People are going to stop coming into your restaurant. That is just like our business. You have to be consistent with it every single day. This business is simple. You have to do the simple every single day. And that is what is going to be hard because you have to be so consistent, but it's worth it. It's just like that quote from League of Their Own, who loves Tom Hanks. The hard is what makes it great. So it might be a simple business, but doing the simple every day is hard at times. And you have to do that. And that is what's going to keep your doors open. You're going to constantly have new people coming in the door because they're going to be seeing those posts and there's going to be something that triggers them. Oh, wow, they have a probiotic. I didn't know. I thought they just had wraps. I didn't know they had these greens. I wonder what those greens do. Gosh, she looks so happy. Her skin looks really good. I wonder what her skincare is. Wow, ItWorks has skincare. You know, there's so many different things that this product, that our company has, more than just wraps. You have to be sure you're sharing everything in a very genuine way about how you're using the products and being a product of the product. So I guess that was like 18 tips in one, but like that, Shauntel.
No, I loved it. You're so right. And the awesome thing about our products is it's not a burger that you're going to get every once in a while. It's a product that once people fall in love with, they're going to want to keep getting it month after month, especially a product like our probiotics. We were talking earlier about how much we both love those things. Can never go without it again. Like, I could never not have my probiotics. Have to have them. Greens. Have to have my greens cheese. Like, there's so many amazing products. So all we have to do is show them, because like you said, most people have no clue that we have all these products outside of the wraps. And so if we don't tell them, they're not psychic, they're not going to find out about it. And I told this to you on the first call we ever did together, but I just thought of it again, so I'm going to say it. You know, there are other companies that have products that are awesome. I was with another company, hardly, but I mean, I made $300 in a year. It was awesome until I found this company and realized that you can make more than $300 in a year. But I sold jewelry. And I, for whatever reason, thought that was like the next life-changing business. It's a necklace, you guys. They're not going to eat it. They will not eat the necklace. They will wear it, but they're not going to eat it. It's not consumable, you know? And so for all these people that sell these amazing products, which I'm excited about, you know, whatever they're selling, but if it's not consumable and it's not something that they're going to use month after month after month after month, they're having to work a whole lot harder than we are. So we have to take advantage of this amazing stuff that we have. We have incredible products, incredible company, compensation plan, incredible corporate leadership. It's all amazing. And we are so lucky to be a part of this, but you have to have the vision and know what you have your hands on and take advantage of it, because you never want to look back and say, gosh, I wonder what I could have done. I wonder what I could have done if I really put the effort in. You never want to have that thought or regret, because everyone can have success with this, but you have to be willing to try. And like Mackenzie said, you have to have consistent, persistent daily effort. It can't be, I'm really excited for 3 weeks and then I'm like annoyed at my husband for a week, so I'm just going to stay off Facebook or not talk about the products. You can't do that in real life with a real job. So why would you be able to do that with this? If you want this to pay you like a real job, you have to work it like a real job. You want it to pay it like a hobby, then work it like a hobby. But most people don't get into this for hobby money. Most people know that. So just be aware of, you know, whatever your goals are, you have to match your effort with that, you know. So you have to make your goals, put a plan of action together. And then the hardest part that most people never do, you have to actually do the action. You have to actually put the work and effort into it, because that's not going to happen on its own. But it's not hard work. I worked way harder when I worked at a law firm than I did doing this. So why not do it, own your time, own your own business, and have limitless income, you know? Find your why. Find your why and what's going to push you to do it, and make sure you keep that in front of your face every single day.
Oh my gosh, when you said you can't eat your jewelry, you said that 3 years ago, probably right around this time 3 years ago, and like it's stuck in my mind forever, because I'm like, you're so right. Like, we have not only incredible products, but we have incredible products people need every single month. And with our loyal customer program, we know they're going to be ordering for a minimum of 3 of those months. We know for sure. So we're getting paid on things we did 3 months ago. We're still getting paid. And that's what's just crazy cool about this compensation plan that we have, is that not only are they consumable, but they're going to keep using them, and we know that because they're agreeing to that, because they're going to get our wholesale cost by doing that, which is another thing that I love, because I had done another company before where I was put in that awkward position of people being like, well, don't you get a discount? Can I just like get that discount? And I'm like, I'm trying to like make a couple dollars. And so I love that we have the loyal customer program so that they can get the same price as us, and we make money off of them in other ways other than just that commission, right, you know, off the top. So, oh, I love that. That is such, you had so many good points in there. So, yeah, I think it's great. So, okay, what about like your best tip for a new person? I'm sure we have some newbies on here. So you started, you know, you didn't do a ton of parties. You said that you had your own party and no one came, right? Or nobody, you said people came, nobody joined. So what is your tips for people that maybe aren't doing parties like me? You know, I did a lot of parties in the beginning, you didn't. So talk about that. What do you think for a newbie?
Well, for me, I didn't have a launch party till I was like months into the business. And even that launch party wasn't like amazing. I mean, 6 people came, 4 became customers, 2 became distributors. The distributors never did a thing though. So for me, so here's how we are different, which I like. You partied a lot and you grew a pretty big local team. Me, my rock stars, my team, you know, is not for the most part local to me. I didn't have a local team. The people I do have local didn't stem from me. They stem from a girl I signed, Hong Forest. I signed in Nevada. I met her through Chiefs. She's not local to me though. She's a presidential diamond. Stacey Dennis is in Texas. She's an ambassador diamond, not local to me. My cousin's in California, not local to me. So all of these, Bonnie, Allie, and Lauren, and all of them are in St. Louis. Then there's the Alabama girls. Like, majority of my team is not local to me, for sure. Most are in St. Louis, Texas, Nevada, California. So what I did was just post on Facebook a ton. My excitement, if I go back and look at those posts, I was so confident. I was throwing everything that I wanted to achieve, every goal. I was just claiming it. I was like, I'm going to go diamond next month. Who else wants to go diamond? What kind of income would help you or change your life? So I was very much social media and blitzing. Those are the two things I did everywhere I went. It was listening to people if they needed to, complete strangers, if they were looking for ways to lose weight, get healthier, or make money. And so they would say things like, my car broke down. I don't know what I'm going to do. Oh, really? Oh my gosh, I have this home-based business. It's amazing. I would love to chat with you. Could we talk? I think it would be something that could really help you. No pressure, but I would love to at least share it with you. Oh my gosh, my boss is making me work this weekend again. They don't like their job. I'm going to blitz them, so it was just listening to people and being aware of what people are saying. So for me, blitzing and posting on social media is completely how I grew my business, and still is to this day. Those are my two gifts and the things that I'm comfortable with. But like I said, I worked really hard to become better at blitzing, because the first few times I blitzed, I was sweaty and awkward, and I said way too much, and I scared them, and they ran away from me. So I just kept doing it. I kept practicing until I got comfortable and confident with it, and it was huge for me.
Oh my gosh. See, that is so cool because, I used social media a lot because, like I said, I was posting, that was my advertising. But, I did a lot of parties. And so we almost are complete opposites. Like you did blitzing and social media, and I did parties mixed with social media. But that is just, it's so cool. Like I hope people that are watching just realize how you choose how you build this business, whatever it is that works for you. In fact, let's see, 2015, Instagram was, getting really big for this business. And I remember thinking, like, I have to do Instagram. Like, I have to learn Instagram. And I tried really hard. Like, I tried really hard to build my business on it. And I thought, it just doesn't feel natural to me. It's not coming natural. I'm not enjoying it. And I want to have fun with what I'm doing. That's what I've loved about this business so much for the last 3.5 years, is that I feel like it's truly fun. Like, I get paid to hang out with my friends at 9:30 at night on whatever Wednesday night. I don't even know. That's what's fun to me. I don't want to have to do things that aren't fun. And so Instagram just didn't feel natural to me. There are some people that rock it out on Instagram and do amazing. And that's solely how they build their business. So that's what's just amazing, is like, you choose. You pick what works for you, how you do this. You get to hear from leaders like Shauntel and I, who built this business so differently. And you can see that you get to make the decisions for your business. It is your business. And you do what's fun and what feels right for you, whatever avenue that is.
So good and so true. So do you have any last things that you wanted to share or get out there? Because I'm sure there's a complete range of distributors that are distributors and all the way up to ambassadors. What is something you share?
Yeah, one thing that I love sharing with people that I'm a big believer in is, okay, so when I first joined, I didn't have a story. I just had joined. At this point, I'm still in debt up to my eyeballs. I didn't have a story to go off of. And so my first week or so, I borrowed my sponsors. I would just say, like, this is what my sponsor has done, the girl that signed me up, and she's, at this rank, and she's doing this and that. And, I just borrowed her story because I didn't feel like I had my own. Well, I will tell you what, guys, a week into the business, I had a story. And wherever you are in the business, you have a story. And here's what I want you to know. When I do a party now, people cannot relate to my story. People cannot relate to the amount of income that I make in a month. It is so hard for them to fathom that when I get to that average income slide and I have to start talking about it, I get so awkward now, because people want to hear about the $500 a month. That is what is so intriguing and relatable to them, is the $500 a month. They say the average American is there's 70% of America that's $300 away from bankruptcy. Like $300 is what's going to make or break them filing for bankruptcy. So $30,000 in a month is so far from their mind. And that to them is like, there's no way that this is real. So when I joined, I went and started talking about my fast starts. I started saying like, I just got $100 bonus on Friday because I helped a friend sign up to make more income, and I helped her get 2 customers, and then I got $100. Like, and people were like, what? You got $100? You know, what did you guys do? Or, you know, that is like intriguing to them. So embrace your story wherever you are in this business, at whatever rank, even if you're at distributor level, embrace that and talk about whatever this business has done. Even if it hasn't changed anything financially yet, talk about the friendships that you've created for this business. Talk about the social aspect. Talk about maybe an event that you went to, or talk about your goals. Say, I'm going to be Ruby. Like, I am working so hard to get to this Ruby because $500 a month for me would be amazing for my family. It's gonna be life-changing. But here's the thing. I want to help somebody else go Ruby too. I want somebody to join at this party who wants to make our $500 Ruby bonus that we offer right now. And you can earn it in your first 2 calendar months. So I'm just so excited for whoever's going to join me next, because they're going to be earning this $500 bonus while we work together. So be confident in whatever story you have and share it with people. And I want you to really, really take away those words. Share your story. So I want to for sure say that. What about you, Shauntel?
One thing I think it's important for people to realize and know and just take ownership of straight off the bat, and I tell people this before I even sign them. This is like my favorite thing to tell potentials, is before you sign up, I just want you to know and understand that you are 100% in control of this business. So whether you succeed or fail, that is completely on your shoulders. You know, that has nothing to do with me, your husband, your kids, your mom, your upline, your sponsor. You have to take ownership of that and realize that you are in control of your success or failure with this. We had this, I got invited to hang out with some of my leaders last weekend, which I'm so grateful for. Bonnie and Allie had me go hang out with them, and Lauren Casamatis, Ambassador Diamond, was there, and she said the best thing. I love this. But we all talked, remember the thing we did at dinner one night where we talked about goals and dreams and fears and all that good stuff. You remember that, right? So it's your list. So I had that same list in my phone in my notes section. And so we went around the room and did that. And everyone, you know, their fears were, you know, not being worthy, not being capable. And Lauren pointed out that when presidentials and ambassadors spoke, they never said that. And I think it's true for me, at least, Mackenzie. You probably would agree. I never thought, oh, I can go diamond, but I can't go double. Or I can go double, but I can't go triple. It was just like, okay, I'm just going to go Ruby, and then I'll go diamond, and then I'll go double, and it'll just happen. Because if you're continuing to bring people into your organization, you know, the worst thing you can do is look at your chart and feel like it's, you know, framed, and that's just how the chart has to stay. Charts are interchangeable, you guys. We have these amazing things called erasers. So if Joe starts slowing down and losing her spark, Betsy over here, so I don't know why I'm picking these things, but she takes off and is, you know, just lighting a fire, then she's going to be your diamond, or she's going to be your ruby. You know what I'm saying? Like, do not be afraid to erase people's names. This is not personal. You've got to take your emotions out of your charts and build it like a business. Use your head to build your charts, not your heart. It's really hard for some people to do for whatever reason. Even though I'm yellow, it was easy for me to do. But realize that if you can go ruby, you can go emerald. You know, these people that freeze at ranks for months or years on end, that's something within them that they have to break through. And so if you've been sitting at a rank for longer than 6 months, that's not on your team. You're not bringing in enough people to change that shift and light a fire. I mean, it just takes one spark. You were a spark for Jamie Mackenzie. I know that when you came in, you were a spark for a lot of us. You sparked us all out because you were just like, yes, I want to find the next Mackenzie. She's out there, and if I don't find her, somebody else will, you know? And so when Lauren said that, it was so true. It's all limits that you put on yourself. So you have to realize that, you know, anything that Mackenzie or I or any other ambassador or presidential has achieved or Black Diamond, you are very capable of doing that. But do you believe it? You know, you have to believe it, and you have to know that you are worthy. And when it does happen, it's going to be so amazing because of all the heart that you put into your work, you know, because of the love and effort that you put into it. So I just wanted to make sure I shared that.
Oh, I love that though. So, so true. You are worthy. That's like a perfect thing to just kind of end on, I think. And just, I hope everybody took away some good tips, some advice, some inspiration, some encouragement. And just know that, you know, you are worth it. The only person in charge of your success is you. So you have to look in the mirror. And the next thing I want to say, I want to leave you with this one tip is, if you are looking for a runner, you have to be the runner that you're looking to sign. You can't be sitting there thinking, I need this amazing rock star to walk into my business if you're not the amazing rock star. You should be your top enroller on your team. And if you're not, then you need to kick it up a notch. So I hope that all of you know that you are worthy, but you are the one in charge of it. So you have to be, you know, running and signing up people, signing up customers and distributors, going on your hundreds list, you know. Go through your Facebook often and write down your names of people that have yet to come into your business that are not customers or distributors. And, you know, reach out to them, have coffee with them. I know Shauntel built her business a lot with coffee dates, meeting up with coffee whenever she could. And just talk to these people, you know. That's what's so fun is you get to just share. You get to share your excitement, your journey, your passion with these products and everything with all of your friends. And do that hundreds list often, because I would always feel like, okay, my warm market is definitely gone. You know, I've reached out to my friends and family, and then I would go through that again and I would find new people. So, all right. I think anything else that you want to say, Chantal, before we close it out?
Just know that we all have different gifts. It's amazing. It's amazing. All you have to do is find your gifts. They're there. They're there. Try to be somebody else and share your gifts with the world and be confident in your abilities and reach those goals.
Awesome. Well, thank you guys all for watching. So for the next 8 weeks, we're going to have these on Wednesday nights at 8:30 Central, 9:30 Eastern Time. We're going to have 2 or 3 new leaders every single week now until December 7th. So you're welcome to kind of subscribe to this channel. This is a bunch of us, as 19 leaders that all put these together. So you're going to hear all sorts of things over the next 9 weeks. So I hope you guys enjoyed the first week with Chantal and I. It was so fun. We had so many viewers. We were hoping more than 10 people. So it looks like we had a few hundred. 10 was our goal. All right, you guys, thank you so much for tuning in. And Shauntel, love you so much. Thank you.
Thank you. Bye.
Bye, guys.